Today is probably your first day back to daily life, and I just want to say that you can do this. This is a lifestyle. Today is all about getting up from where you are and deciding to live out this change. The prodigal is in the pig pen. He's been awakened to his circumstance, and there he decides to get up. He makes the decision to change. Have you ever realized that you didn't decide to wake up this morning? You were awakened this morning by an alarm, a barking dog, your husband or wife, maybe even your mom. But even though it wasn't your decision to be woken up, it was your decision to get up. This is what's happening to you now. God has awakened you, and now you're making the decision to get up from where you are. Too often we wait for our circumstances to change themselves. We say, God, if you'll change my circumstances, I will get serious about serving you. But in the story, the lost son made his decision to change while still mired down in the mud of the pen. There is a better place than the place produced by sin, and it's the remembrance of a better life that provoked the son to get up. You must make this decision to change today and every day as you begin your journey home. There is something inside of you that says, life doesn't have to be this way. I can change. There is a better way. This is a call to change put in our hearts by God. It's the call of heaven to all of us here on earth. It's what happens when we are born again. We pass from death to life, and something about what drives us changes. The desire to change has been instilled in us by God. We no longer can be content to live mediocre, unfulfilled lives. There is something more, and we've decided to get up and go for it. We are made for more, and we will not be content to go on living in a pig pen. I want to encourage you not to get discouraged about your current situation. God has put change in your heart, and now you are deciding to act on it. The fact that you're even watching this video means that you want to change and that you're making a clear-cut decision to get up from where you are. That's commendable. Don't allow frustration to set in and diss your courage. You are not too far gone. You are not destined to stay the way you are, and you are not destined to stay imprisoned to your present reality. You can change. This is your declaration, but it's also your prayer. Your willpower is not the answer. Your will and your power have actually failed you, probably over and over again. Now it's time for God's will and God's power to be trusted. God has a will for your life, and He'll execute that will if you will trust Him. But you must surrender your will to His will and your self-sufficiency to His power. There is a better place to live, and it's a much better place than here. Know today that God has destined you for something better than where you are now.
One obstacle you might face is the question of what do I do now? This is a very common question among new Christians. Sometimes it can be very difficult to integrate this new way of living into your normal patterns of life. Now that you've been woken up by God and may be grappling with changes you need to make, the temptation will be to hit the snooze button and go back to sleep. God wants a relationship with you because you choose to participate in this relationship. That's the type of God He is. You might be realizing today that your heart has changed, but maybe your circumstances are still the same. That's completely normal. God didn't promise you that your circumstances would change, but He did promise you that He'll be with you wherever you go. To me, that's an incredible deal. The very person that gave you life is with you as you do life, and He knows a lot more about it than any of us do. So I would just encourage you, as you realize that God has awakened you, get up. Don't go back to sleep. There's a new and better life ahead of you. Make sure you connect with your coach ASAP. They're pulling for you. I'm pulling for you. And ultimately, God is pulling for you. And I know you can do it. See you tomorrow.